Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another Ninestar Game of the Week. My name is Gavin Haynes, joined on my left by Jarrett Lewis, and we are live tonight from Charlottesville, Indiana, but most people just call it Eastern Hancock. It's the home of the Royals, as the Eastern Hancock Royals will play host to the Monroe Central Golden Bears. Jarrett, big matchup tonight. Two teams with very close records, 6-5 for Eastern Hancock, 5-6 for Monroe Central. On paper, it looks just about even with slight advantages. It's just a matter of which team is going to execute better tonight.
Yeah, like you said there, Gavin, both teams coming in pretty even records, both coming off of wins. You know, it's all going to be about who is going to make plays, who's going to step up, and who's going to execute in all four quarters, not just in the beginning of the game or at the end of the game. And right now, the Eastern Hancock Royals, they do have the size advantage in this game. Peyton Gray at 6'7". He's going to be going up against a 6'3" guy who's the tallest guy from Monroe Central. And so it's just going to be about who executes, who plays their best game tonight. And it should be a good one here Friday night at Eastern Hancock.
Well, we definitely got to talk about the freshman, Landon O'Neill. This kid doesn't play as many minutes as some of the other guys on the team, but he's averaging more points than some of them with 10.1 points per game, averaging just 16 minutes a game under some of the players like Starrett and Smith and Stevens as well, the guys who play 22 minutes a game, you know.
And Landon O'Neill has been huge as a freshman, stepping up and leading this team in scoring. And, you know, if you give him open looks from behind the arc, he's guaranteed to make half of them at least. And so that'll be interesting to see. Monroe Central's definitely going to have to do something about that during this game.
And we will break down some more stats as this one gets underway. Eastern Hancock wins the tip-off. Schroep has the ball at half court, setting up the offense against the Golden Bears. Passes it left wing this time for O'Neill, who's starting this game as a freshman. Passes right wing back to Schroep. Schroep now going back to O'Neill. O'Neill dishing it down low for Stevens. Stevens back to O'Neill from the left wing. Just 15 years old in a varsity role there. Back to Schroep at the top of the key. O'Neill takes a long three-pointer, and it's on the money. Landon O'Neill, 3 points to start the night.
And just like we said earlier, Landon O'Neill, he's really good from the wings also. So anything left wing, right wing, those are his spots, and that's where he's going to hit. Now we see both teams are coming out in 2-3 zones on defense.
Number 2, Jackson Olam will be the one to keep your eye on for the Monroe Central Golden Bears. He's the point guard, averaging over 10 points a game as he gets the ball top of the key. Fishes it right wing, now going down low into the paint. It's Fayola having it, passes it back out to Olam. Driving down under the basket. Looks like they were going into the paint for Fayola. Foul called down on the floor, however.
Eastern Hancock has been in this 2-3 zone for pretty much the whole year, and they haven't allowed a lot of scoring to their opposing teams, but they also have been struggling on the offensive side.
Might have been a loose ball there, rather. Inbound pass to Fayola. He puts it up for 2. Tight game so far, 3-2. Both scoring. Here comes Schroep across half court. Zone defense set up for Monroe Central. Driving into the paint and dishing it away was Braden Smith. And a foul called, charging on Eastern Hancock. Looks like this one's going to be going on Smith, his first, and the team's first for Eastern Hancock.
Yeah, just a nice job of sliding over, help defense on the baseline. Really nice take by Manship there.
Let's dig into some of these coaches on the floor tonight. Justin Olam for Monroe Central, 61-46 in his 5th year. Aaron Spalding, however, 20 years at Eastern Hancock, a regional championship and a sectional championship under his belt so far. And it speaks volumes when you've been at a program for over 10 years, especially in Indiana high school basketball.
And everyone in this area knows about Aaron Spalding. He's done a great job here at Eastern Hancock, and he's looking to have a young group filled with a few freshmen and a few seniors to maybe make something happen this late in the season.
Will Jones taking a contested 3 right there. Good defense from O'Neill. And Eastern Hancock once again on the offensive possession. Schroep going back to the top of the key is Stevens. He takes a long 3, and the big man will miss. Rebound put back from Gray is good.
And Stevens is capable of hitting those threes. If you leave him wide open, he'll put one up, but more than likely you're not going to see him put up threes in the game. And a nice offensive rebound there by Gray using his size.
5-2 score. The Royals ahead so far. O'Neill with the 3 and Gray with the 2. Monroe Central 2 points for Fayola. So far, 5:30 to go in the first quarter. Monroe Central seems to be moving at a little bit slower pace than the Royals tonight so far, Jarrett.
Kind of a repeated offense here as you see a 3 put up, and it's good.
Deep 3 for Will Jones. He missed that last attempt, but this one goes down. It's now a tie game, 5-5.
Will Jones, the junior, leading this team in scoring at 16.5 points. He's the guy you're going to be watching now on the Monroe Central side. Now we see a steal.
Big steal, Logan Patterson dishing it down in the paint. Jones puts the layup in. Good assist from Patterson and the steal. Eastern Hancock now pushing the pace as Schroep drives it across half court, dishes this one off to Smith. Smith getting it back to Stevens. Stevens going back up top to Schroep. Schroep trying to drive right side, gets it to Stevens. They dish it over to O'Neal. Corner three on the way, bounces off of the rim into the hands of Fayola. Here come the Golden Bears driving the momentum as it's knocked, it's almost stolen away, pardon me. Big three on the way from Jones. He misses that one. And it looks like a loose ball foul, I think. This one going on Fayola of the Monroe Central Golden Bears, his first, team's first.
Well, first on Eastern Hancock side, a good extra pass from Brady Smith to find O'Neal in the corner, and that's what they want to do in that offense they just ran. And then on the other side, good hustle from Brady Smith going after that ball as it almost went out of bounds.
There's a look at the head coach of the Eastern Hancock Royals, Aaron Spalding. In pass to Stevens. Stevens dishes away to O'Neal for another three-point attempt. No good. Gray on the rebound, and putback is good. Two quick putbacks so far. Gets Peyton Gray 4 points tonight in the first quarter.
And the Golden Bear fans are looking for some kind of foul, but Gray's not doing any kind of, excessive pushing or anything, any kind of contact. He's just going straight up and going after that ball.
Logan Patterson had it at the top of the key. Fayola gets it. They go back to the junior Patterson. He goes back up to Will Jones, who's 1 of 3 from the three-point line so far. Now he's been taking most of the shots from Monroe Central. Jones has it once again, right wing. Just keep moving the ball around until you can find the open man. They dish this one on the outside. It is Taft Manship who had the ball. Pass stolen away. Here comes Eastern Hancock.
And Smith read that right away. Aaron Spalding was calling out what was going to happen. They were trying to get a three in the corner, and Smith read it the whole way, got the steal.
Schroep, long pass to O'Neal. He goes down the paint for Stevens. Stevens, the big man, going in for two. Brady Stevens, the senior, putting up 2 points, 9-7 ball game, 3 minutes, 15 seconds and counting to go in the first quarter.
And that size advantage down low with Stevens and Gray is going to be really big in this game. They definitely have the size advantage over guys like Fayola, and Stevens is just as key down low as Gray.
We hope you folks are enjoying this game so far. Very tight contest in the first quarter. Will Jones with a quick strike puts 2 up on the board. He now has 7 points in this first quarter, 7 of 9 for Monroe Central. And Eastern Hancock now driving it across half court. Their last time on the floor, they defeated Waldron 72-31. Big three-pointer from Braden Smith.
Just lack of communication on Monroe Central's part. They left Smith wide open here on the left wing, and he's going to knock those down.
12-9 ball game. Monroe Central has the ball right wing. They go across now to Jackson Olam, the freshman at the top of the key, passing it away. Jackson Olam, a freshman, leading the Monroe Central Golden Bears this season so far. Looks like he got fouled in the lane there. Just could not find any open room. He had 3 different Royals surrounding him in the big man, Stevens, as well. Looks like they're going to credit Skylar Schroep with this foul, his first, the team's second. Not a whole lot of fouls so far here in the first quarter, just 2 apiece, looks like, for both teams. I missed one of the Monroe Central fouls. A couple substitutions coming on the floor. Looks like Bryce Deckman checking in for Monroe Central. And coming back, it looks like Cole Rainbolt, the freshman, in for Eastern Hancock. Quite a very nice last name right there, Rainbolt. 2 on the way from Jackson Olam. Both free throws hit for him. 12-11 ball game, 2:10 to go here in the first quarter. Golden Bears playing a little more pressure on the wings as they've seen that's Eastern Hancock's bread and butter. And a travel call, turnover, the Golden Bears will get the ball back.
Monroe Central looks very active on the defensive side of the ball. Got their hands up. A lot of guys who look athletic, look like they can get from one point to the other very fast. So if they can cause some turnovers out of that defense, they can surely make something happen.
Right wing with the ball is Deckman. They go back up to Olam. Olam telling Deckman to go to the far side. Deckman gets the pass and scoots into the paint, crossing across the court. Looks like he's the open man for the pass, but they do not go to him as Jackson Olam receives the ball back at the top of the key to set up the offense once again. Will Jones dishing it out to Deckman. Now back to Olam. Olam pump fakes, goes in the lane, right hand, no good. Rebound by Fayola, he will take it himself.
And a lack of boxing out on Peyton Gray's part allowed Fayola to just slide over to that block and grab that offensive rebound and put it all in.
Golden Bears now lead this game 13-12 over the Royals. Patterson has it top of the key. Goes back to the left wing. Three-point shot on the way from Braden Smith. Bounces off the rim into the hands of Fiola.
But really good defense there by Eastern Hancock, making that pass, finding the open man.
It's like Monroe Central slowing down the tempo as they are just looking for the right holes that they can find. Jones goes to Fiola, down in the paint, shot up on the way. Foul called, basket is good.
And that's the second foul on Brady Stevens. Now under a minute in this first quarter, Spalding will most likely take him out here during these free throws.
Well, Brady Stevens with his second foul, as you mentioned. One foul on Braden Smith, and that's the 3 for Eastern Hancock. Looks like there's 2 for Monroe Central. Fiola's free throw is good. That gives him 7 in this first quarter. And the Royals now looking with under a minute to go in this first quarter to try and put some more points up on the board. They trail by 4 points, 16-12 to score. And a push foul on Jackson Allum. Last time Monroe Central was on the floor, they defeated Union City 54-33. That was the last time they came out. But the last time these two teams met, it looks like it was Eastern Hancock's victory, 70-55, January 19th of 2018. 2-point basket right there. Braden Smith driving along the baseline and getting 2.
A nice job of using his body, avoiding the Monroe Central player down low who was looking to take a charge. He just simply kind of faded away from him, able to put the ball off the glass and put it in.
And Allum will dish this one off to Gavin Smithson. Smithson had losing control of it, getting it back to Will Jones. Will Jones is coming some very clutch moments right now for the Golden Bears in this first quarter. And a foul called on the floor as Gray got his hands on it. Little contact made. They're going to call this one on the Golden Bears.
And Spalding switched it up a little bit out from that 2-3. He decided to send Brady Smith and Rainbow at the ball handler at the same time, see if they could get something to happen, and they did. Bad pass, a deflection, and now they have the ball here coming down 5 seconds.
Schroep with under 5 to go, drives, tried to dish it out, stolen away. Here comes Will Jones, fires it away. No good on the floater. The two-handed floater will miss for Will Jones, but Monroe Central with a 2-point lead here at the end of the first quarter. The Golden Bears have come in swinging to Eastern Hancock. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second quarter. You're listening to the Ninestar Game of the Week.
Effects has the movies. Effects has the movies. Effects has the movies. Effects. There we have it. Effects has the movies.
Are you seeing this?
Effects has.
Are you seeing this?
Effects has the movies.
And welcome back. It's the Ninestar Game of the Week. Gavin Haynes joined by Jarrett Lewis. Jarrett, you're the former quarterback of Eastern Hancock High School. How's it feel to be home, man?
It feels good to be home. Usually try and come home every weekend now and try to catch some football games earlier in the fall season, now catching some basketball, and glad to be doing these Ninestar games with you, Gavin. This one looks to be like a good one so far.
Yeah, last time we were together, you were up in my neck of the woods at Pendleton Heights where I went to school. Now I get to see where you came in. I like this environment. You know, it seems to be a little bit more close-knit, not so spread apart like a big school like Pendleton Heights is. These 2A schools seem to have a little bit closer bond.
Right, with a small gym like this, a smaller community, you know, you seem to know everybody. You seem to get along with everybody, and we got a good one here so far Friday night. Nothing better than a little small-town Indiana basketball.
So very close games throughout the year for both teams. It looks like Eastern Hancock had about 5 games where they were all within 6 points. They were 3-2 overall in those close games. However, on the other side, Monroe Central had about 6 games all within 6 points. They were 3-3 in those games. So basically what I'm saying is this is quite a close match on paper, and we're definitely getting that so far here tonight.
Yeah, we definitely are. And record-wise, you can see it. As far as scoring, both teams are right around the same area. And, you know, we're making a good game, a nice conference matchup here. Monroe Central, Eastern Hancock, a pivotal one, too. Both teams are 2-2 in this Mid-Eastern Conference.
Olam going down to Fiola in the paint. No good, and the rebound by Gray. The Eastern Hancock Royals now coming back on the offensive effort. Skylar Schroep has the ball, setting up the offense. Looks like Stevens posting down into the paint. They're going to get this one off to O'Neal, the freshman in the wing. He dishes it up to Braden Smith. Smith to Stevens, and he dishes it right back to Smith. Fires a three, nails it from the top of the key. Braden Smith now with 8 tonight so far.
Braden Smith, one of the key three-point shooters from this Eastern Hancock team, and there sure is a lot of them. The team's shooting a little over 30%, which is not as great as Monroe Central, but Eastern Hancock really lives and dies by the three, so to speak.
And a big foul there on Jackson Olam as he was going into the paint. Looks like he was hit by, I believe this was 43, Peyton Gray. Yes, his first. Looks like it'll be the Royals' fourth. So a little free throw statistics for you. Olam from the line this year, 71%, as he is now 3 of 3 so far on the night. Coming into this game, however, Monroe Central shooting as a team 69% free throw shooting as opposed to Eastern Hancock's 59%. So the Golden Bears might just be a little better when it comes to those critical situations if it comes down to the close game and it's a free throw battle.
Yeah, like you said, a close game late, you know, it's going to be interesting because both teams aren't shooting very well from the charity stripe. So something to keep an eye on as we get later into this ball game.
Braden Smith driving, pumps it, and gets it in. A nice jump shot over the defender.
Braden Smith is really feeling it right now. He has the last 5 points for Eastern Hancock, and the three was a really good look. Not afraid to put it up, even with the defender's hand up in his face.
10 points in the first half for Braden Smith. Olam in the paint, or excuse me, that was Will Jones in the paint. He dished it out to Olam. They go right back to Jones. They swing it to Jones around the corner, loses his defender, and had to start all over again. The pace just wasn't working. Smithson misses the three, and the Eastern Hancock Royals back on the offensive.
What I really liked seeing from Will Jones there is he makes the smart play. He's really good at using his head, making guys miss. Rainbow hits the three there.
Big three-pointer.
But like we were saying about Jones, just looks like a really complete and smart player, quick on his feet. He's going to make the right decision.
Here comes Will Jones from the right wing, goes to Fiola. Fiola tries to put it up, missed it, gets his own rebound, misses it again, gets another rebound, tries to put it back, fouled on the putback that time. That kid is just getting scrappy under the goal, very long and lengthy and athletic.
But like we said about Will Jones, he did a nice job of penetrating, getting close into the lane, and he knew Fiola was going to be open in the blue part of the court, which he was, dished it down to him. Unfortunately, misses all of his shots, but now gets a chance at the free throw line.
Quite a ear-ringing screech there as Fiola drops the free throw. Sounded like one of the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings there for a second, you know? Braden Smith is about the hot hand for Eastern Hancock so far. 10 points in this first half. Looks like Sam Fiola, the man at the free throw stripe, doing most of the work for the Golden Bears. 8 points so far.
Some kind of dispute here. I think they're saying there should be 2 free throws, which they are. He was fouled going up.
So after the slight confusion, Fiola back at the free throw line. 81% free throw shooter. There's that howling screech, and he missed it. Schroep will get the ball behind half court, drives it across. Little physical here on offense as it's Braden Smith had the ball to give it right back to him.
Nice fast ball movement right here.
Couple guys open on the outside as Schroep as he takes a three. He misses it. Fiola grabs the rebound. Here comes Will Jones across the half court, driving into the paint. One-handed floater from the right hand, no good. And Eastern Hancock gets the ball back. Very fast pace so far in this second quarter. Braden Smith trying to get past his 2 defenders and Smithson and Fiola, but he drops it in on a fadeaway.
Unbelievable shot put up there by Braden Smith. Did a nice job of shimming his defender out of the way near the baseline. Made a nice little fake turnaround. And then had the spin move inside. Couldn't do anything with it, but still decided to put it up over the defender, and he knocks it down.
12 points for Smith here in the first half. Will Jones has the ball. Gets it off to Gavin Smithson. Smithson going down in the paint. No good on the shot from Deckman. Here comes Eastern Hancock on a fast break. Once again, Braden Smith driving into the lane, dishes it out for Patterson.
Oh, nice pass.
Left wing, Patterson, big three-pointer.
What a beautiful pass. Great decision there by Skylar Schroep. Found Stevens on the left wing. No one wanted to anticipate going that way towards him, and he hit it from the left wing.
I apologize to Stevens. I called him Patterson.
Just wrong team. It's all right.
It happens, you know. 26-19 the score as Monroe Central is trailing in this one to Eastern Hancock. The Royals have been marching back, scoring changes throughout the night so far. Looks like there's been 2 or 3 different times throughout this first half. Three-pointer on the way from Smith, no good. And a jump ball call between Brady Stevens and Gavin Smithson.
Just a heat check there from Brady Smith. He had the hot hand. Couldn't connect on that one, but, you know, for him, he's going to keep on shooting. And so far he's been huge in this first half for Eastern Hancock right now, leading them in all scores.
Here come the Royals from the baseline. Inbound pass, O'Neal has it. O'Neal slowly watching the offense. Braden Smith going down in the paint for Gray. Gray puts a shot over his defender. It's good. Right in the face of Taftmanship. 28-19 the score.
And that's going to be really hard to guard for Monroe Central. Peyton Gray just towering over people right now. And he's had 3 of those shots where he's just put it right over their head.
Coming into this game, Eastern Hancock definitely much better team on paper as far as rebounding goes, and we've seen that so far tonight with a dynamic duo between Peyton Gray and Brady Stevens, 2 really big seniors. Three-pointer on the way from Olam, no good. Tipped away by the Royals and saved by Gray.
Olam with a nice catch and shoot really quick.
O'Neal,
fortunate for Eastern Hancock to not let that one drop.
Freshman O'Neal had to get it back out this time. Zach Arnold has the ball. Goes across to O'Neal. O'Neal drives in, back to Arnold. Arnold dishes it out to Smith. Braden Smith looked the other way, dribbling with it. Go to O'Neal. O'Neal loses control of the ball, and here comes Monroe Central. Logan Patterson with the steal. There's Olam from the near side corner, and now moving it over to the wing. Gets rid of it to Smithson. Gavin Smithson at the top of the key for the Golden Bears. This one out to the far side. It's Deckman now. Back to Smithson. They go into the paint. There's Olam right under the goal. He lost control of the basketball, and Eastern Hancock recovers it. Braden Smith has been everywhere right when you need him to tonight for the Royals.
Nice active hands there from the Eastern Hancock defense, forcing the turnover. And now they're looking to extend this lead to now double digits.
Smith gets the ball once again. They dish this one across the court to the freshman. O'Neal hits the big 3. Timeout taken on the floor from Monroe Central. Justin Olam will take it. A full timeout.
Landon O'Neal with his second three-pointer of the game. See Arnold now has it at the top of the key, and Brady Smith just a brilliant cross-court pass. O'Neal's ready for it in the corner, catch and shoot. You got to be better than that. You got to close out better if you're Monroe Central. You got to get that left hand up if he's a right-handed shooter and not give him the best look possible, because O'Neal is the deadliest one on this team from behind the arc.
Look at the Mid-Eastern Conference. The Shenandoah Raiders atop the standings, 2-0 in conference, 10-1 overall. Wapahani right there in number 2, 3-0, 9-3. The West Dell Warriors at 3-2, 9-3 record. Randolph Southern, Blue River with 3-2 conference records. Blue River with an 8-4 record. Randolph Southern 4-9. And there's Eastern Hancock and Monroe Central right there at 2-2 in the conference, 6-5 and 5-6.
This is a really pivotal game as far as the Mid-Eastern Conference goes. It's still up for grabs. You got Shenandoah up there and also Wapahani of undefeated records. So this is going to be a key game as now you see a travel by Monroe Central.
A turnover in the favor of Eastern Hancock. And, yeah, you know, when you talk about that conference, those are the 2 teams that mainly come to mind. Shenandoah and Wapahani, 2 of the best teams in the conference. Always tough to beat every single year. Eastern Hancock right there in that bunch along as well.
Coach Spalding likes Brady Smith's matchup, and he finds Gray underneath who puts it in.
Big Peyton Gray picking up his 8th point of the game so far. 33-19 the score. The Royals are starting to run away with this one here in the first half. Viola has to get it away. Will Jones was wide open, but I don't think he saw him. Olam finds him now, takes a 3, and there he is, Will Jones for 3.
Good job of moving the ball around. Wherever the defenders are not, it's most likely where you want to send that ball, and found Will Jones in the corner for 3. Another Peyton Gray 2-pointer.
Great pass from Zach Arnold, the freshman, down to Gray. Gray now has 10 on the night. Arnold, just a freshman, mainly one of the role players coming off the bench for Eastern Hancock.
And one of the 3 freshmen on the court right now. You got Arnold, you got O'Neal, and you got Rainbolt.
All of them had great pressure right there from Cole Rainbolt, the freshman.
Eastern Hancock, as usual, sticking with this 2-3, staying very active, and Brady Smith almost gets that steal.
3-point shot taken from Allum, no good. And a rebound knocked out of bounds. Logan Patterson had it for the Golden Bears. Eastern Hancock put a little pressure on. Gavin Smithson checking back in, the tall freshman for Monroe Central. Inbound pass to Will Jones. Jones back up to Allum. They get it away to Smithson. 10 seconds now to go before halftime. Jones has it now to Allum. They got 5-6 seconds. Allum gets a pick. They roll with it. Allum for 3. Nails it right before the buzzer. 35-25. Our score at halftime. Jackson Allum with a big 3-pointer to make it just a 10-point lead. But the Royals started running away with it quickly there at the end of that first half.
Not a possession you want to end on if you're Eastern Hancock. Just not very good help side defense there, and Allum got the ball screen up top. No one wanted to hedge at him and make the shot more difficult, and he knocks the 3 down. Fortunately, though, Eastern Hancock with a big second quarter. They lead by 10 points, 35-25.
Well, so far, the Royals are rolling here at Eastern Hancock High School. A 10-point lead, 35-25. We'll have your halftime stats when we come back. You're watching the Ninestar Game of the Week here on Ninestar 9.
The Big Ten. This is where tradition comes alive. You play hard, win hard. Here, every hook, dunk, and slam explodes. And the thunder and rumble of determination is pure percussion. The Big Ten on Fox, FS1, and the Fox Sports app.
And we are back at Eastern Hancock High School. Gavin Haynes joined by Jared Lewis. It's halftime, and the Royals are up by 10 points, 35-25 your score here tonight. And so far, we've had a pretty good, impressive show from Braden Smith. He's been just about everywhere for the Royals in positions where they need him to in the rebounding category, as well as passing the ball and shooting just fine as well.
Braden Smith, I tell you what, Gavin, I mean, inside, outside, you know, you don't want to leave him open at 3, but if you hedge at him too much, if you anticipate him shooting the 3 too much, he'll just blow right by you and he'll make something happen inside the lane. And right now he's leading the Royals with 12 points and a lot of nice contributions also from Peyton Gray. He's got 10. O'Neal from behind the arc has hit 2 threes. So Eastern Hancock looking really good right now with this 10-point lead heading into the second half.
Looks like Will Jones leading the way for Monroe Central so far with just 10 points in the first half. 25-35 the score, 10-point lead for the Royals. And a very impressive first half. It was kind of close in the first quarter, and then things started to pick up in the second when Eastern Hancock started getting some turnovers away from the Golden Bears.
And I think for Monroe Central, if they want to get back into this game, cut it into a 3-4 point game, they're going to have to change things up a little bit, maybe bring some new things at them on the defensive side and kind of bring out some new plays on offensive side as well, get Will Jones going somehow.
Well, turning it over on your first possession is certainly not one of those ways you want to do it, Jarrett, as Braden Smith now gets the ball, passes it in the paint. 2 points up on the board for Brady Stevens. And Brady Stevens has been in the paint, shooting from 3-point land tonight. Looks like Al Horford out there all around.
He's the stretch big guy. You can put him outside the 3-point lane, or you can have him post up inside. And right there, he had good position now. Gets the foul called as he makes the basket.
Missed free throw opportunity goes off of the leg, however, of Taft Manship and goes out of bounds. Very good play there by Landon O'Neal, the freshman, getting his hand on top of the hand of Manship, forcing the ball out of bounds off of Manship's foot.
Manship not having a good stretch right here to start the second half. He had the foul on Stevens and has that ball knocked out of bounds, and Eastern Hancock keeps it.
Stevens backing down his defender, gets it away to Smith. Smith driving, dishes it out. Schroep for 3 off of the side of the iron. Allum gets the rebound, but he took a hard shot there from Skylar Schroep. Some of the Eastern Hancock faithful looking for a foul there. Allum has it running the offense for Monroe Central, top of the key. A 12-point lead for the Royals. Jones now going over to the far side corner as they get it off into the paint. Taft Manship has the ball. They go out to Will Jones again. Allum gets it, steps into a three, off the iron, and rebounded by Manship. Jones gets it, goes back to Allum again. Here come the Golden Bears into the paint. Pump fake by Allum, airballed the shot. Fayola getting double teamed in the paint by the two big men as the ball is knocked out of bounds. No foul, all clean play right there in the paint.
And with Patterson going after that ball as it almost went out of bounds, it looks like Eastern Hancock had good position underneath. They just couldn't push themselves to go after that ball. And now you see Brady Stevens can't believe this foul's called on him.
Brady Stevens picking up his third foul of the game so far.
That's not something you want to see, especially if he's able to make things happen from all around the court as Brady Stevens, and that third foul is going to be crucial.
Fayola's free throw is good, however, giving him 9 on the night. Schroep has it, driving it across, being guarded heavily by Logan Patterson. Stevens gets it, goes back to Schroep, back to Stevens. Stevens steps into a three, Zach Randolph style, and nails it.
The next Zach Randolph of Indiana high school basketball?
Question mark, Stevens has come out ready to go. He's been on the boards. He's been shooting well from the three-point land, and I'm quite impressed with how awesome he's been doing inside and outside. He could definitely make something of himself at the collegiate level.
A football player also is Brady Stevens on the offensive line. Real agile for his size.
It looks like all of them had it in the paint. Had to get rid of it. Will Jones steps into a three of his. Missed off the rim and backboard into the hands of the Royals. Good physical game so far. Both teams not backing down one hair. A lot of physical defense being played. A lot of trading paint down in the paint, I should say. Outside, here comes Stevens on the drive. Dishes it away to Gray. Steps into a two. Bounces off of the rim and backboard. Here come Golden Bears. Sorry about that.
Even though he missed it, Gavin, Peyton Gray is a guy who can also stretch the floor. He can hit the mid-range jumper and maybe even step out and hit a three just like Stevens can.
Gray is definitely the one we had our eye on coming into this game for Eastern Hancock, and it's been some of the other role players stepping into that spot instead. Fayola's putback is good. Give him 11 so far, leading the Golden Bears in scoring. Schroep has it. They go across to Stevens. Stevens has it left wing. He had Smith right next to him as they give it to Schroep, and he passes it to Smith. O'Neal, the freshman, dishing it across to Stevens.
With guys like Stevens and Smith hitting, as you see him hit that one, with all these guys hitting, including O'Neal, it's going to be difficult for Monroe Central to play all the guys, differently. They're going to have to play them all the same if they keep hitting shots inside and outside.
Hard, solid defense from Stevens, but Fayola manages to put it up and in anyway.
Fayola's having a good third quarter so far. 7 points already for the Golden Bears.
13 for him. 42-32 the score. Eastern Hancock still maintaining that 10-point lead from halftime as Landon O'Neal goes into the paint for a quick two-pointer.
Nice dribble move there by O'Neal. Got rid of his man.
Olam pumps up for a shot, no good. Two of the Golden Bear players ran into each other. It looks like it was Manship, took a shoulder right in the sternum, and he's still holding it down on his knees from that shot. Fayola, one-hand putback, no good, grabs his own board, goes right back again. 15 for Sam Fayola.
And Eastern Hancock did a nice job of recovering after that ball. Went out here to midcourt, and Fayola got it, but underneath, they weren't set up right, and that's what allowed Fayola to get those open shots underneath.
So Eastern Hancock is still maintaining that 10-point lead that they earned right before halftime. 44-34 the score. Braden Smith leading them in scoring with 14 points in this game. Fayola leading all scorers with 15 for the Golden Bears. Very close matchup. Still just a 10-point game, a couple turnovers here and there, and it's all over.
Eastern Hancock has really done a nice job all game so far in 2.5 quarters of spreading the ball around. Nice quick ball movement, finding the open man. We've seen O'Neal make threes. Brady Stevens hit threes. Braden Smith, who has the hot hand for Eastern Hancock, he's been all over the court.
There's a look at Justin Olam, 61-46 in his 5th year as the coach of the Golden Bears. Missed three from O'Neal, saved from going out of bounds by Smith. Stevens is wide open, steps into a two, bounces off of the backboard. Schroep tipping it around with some Monroe Golden Bears. Ball goes out of bounds, staying with Eastern Hancock.
What great hustle there by number 3, Skylar Schroep. Just relentless going after that ball, tipping it around, and now forces it to go out of bounds off a Golden Bear.
Timeout on the floor, 30 seconds for Eastern Hancock. Their first timeout so far tonight. Quite a game so far, 10-point lead. And it seems like everything the Golden Bears are doing to try and get back into it, Aaron Spalding just has an answer that nicks it right in the butt.
Well, I really like this game because both teams are active. You see really just great athletes, physical. We've seen inside game, we've seen the outside game. Both guys going at it. Schroep and Will Jones, the two small guys, have been just real key. They haven't done a whole lot. Will Jones has scored a lot for the Golden Bears, but Schroep on the other end, just a good defender and just a great matchup between those guys.
Some new faces on the floor for the Golden Bears. Looks like Gavin Smithson checking back in. Our next broadcast, Carmel will be visiting the Newcastle Fieldhouse to take on the Trojans. That is January 27th, Sunday. Myself and John Herrick will be live from the Newcastle Fieldhouse for the call for that one. Greyhounds, one of the best teams in the state this season as well.
Should be a great game.
O'Neal from a corner for three. No good. Rebound by Stevens. Tried to pass it off to Gray. Tipped away by the Golden Bears. Out of bounds and goes into the hands of Eastern Hancock after a couple mishandles.
And Stevens really being unselfish trying to find Gray, but he should have went up with it himself. And unfortunately, Eastern Hancock keeps the ball as it went out of bounds.
As you see here on the replay, Stevens had it, should have went for the putback like you said, tried to pass it away to Gray.
But going back to that matchup you talked about, Gavin, Carmel with, just the great guys they have, the Butler commit also, and then Luke Bumbelow going to Ball State. Got to see him against Mount Vernon, put up 51. Should be an interesting matchup.
Big points for right there for Sam Fiola. He got the foul. The basket counts. Will be going to the line for one. This one's going on Peyton Gray. Looks like that's going to be his second. Peyton Gray picking up his second foul. Eastern Hancock's second of the second half, rather. Fiola at the free throw stripe now for the Golden Bears. Free throw on the way is good. Give him 16 on the night now. As you mentioned, going to be quite the matchup as Carmel with their excellent all-around team, man. I mean, Carmel just plays really good team basketball altogether. Newcastle's going to really have to rely on Bumbelow, but they're also going to have those role players really stepping up that night.
And in the game I saw, which Ninestar, we had it was Mount Vernon and Newcastle. Bumbelow just did everything by himself. Mount Vernon would score. They would play good team basketball on one end, and then on the other end it'd be Bumbelow all by himself making things happen, whether it be with a dribble going in the lane or creating space out behind the arc.
Quick little session of fouls right there by the officials as Eastern Hancock has the ball. 44-37 score. 3 team fouls for the Golden Bears, 2 for Eastern Hancock. Driving into the paint was O'Neal, or pardon me, that was Rainbolt going into the paint. He will be credited with a charge. Rainbolt's second foul, or pardon me, yes, his first rather.
What a great take.
They were going to credit Fiola with his second, but then they realized it was a charge.
Smithson with the take, just beautifully steps in. He's set. Great call. It was a charge. Rainbolt, though, did a nice job of having that head fake to create space.
Into the lane for 2 points is Logan Patterson. Lynn Patterson makes this game 44-39. Monroe Central is now double teaming. The full court press is working. Patterson had control of it, and now it's a scrap on the floor. Timeout taken Monroe Central. Smart decision right there by head coach Justin Olam. They had the ball in their possession. He calls timeout, saw it was going to be a jump ball if they didn't. Good coaching right there.
Well, Gavin, right before the start of the second half, we said Monroe Central is going to have to make something happen. They're going to have to change things up, and they did right here with the full court press. Got Rainbolt stuck in a pickle, couldn't get out of it, cost of the deflection, and then they end up with the ball on the ground and call a timeout. And now it's a 5-point game. We got a brand new ball game here between Monroe Central and Eastern Hancock.
Aaron Spalding looks very red down there, trying to get his players to understand what he wants them to do. But nonetheless, that 10-point lead is now slowly diminishing, and the Golden Bears are taking the momentum completely on their side.
And what a third quarter also from Fiola. I mean, just basket after basket, getting to the line also. Looks like he's got 12 points in this quarter right now.
Quite the show so far throughout this second half as the Royals are now losing that lead. Looks like Gray's trying to get his teammates a little more fired up. Eastern Hancock will have the ball. Or pardon me, Monroe Central will have the ball after they're the ones that called timeout. There was a ball that was loose on the floor. Everybody was scrapping around for it. Golden Bears recovered and called a timeout. Let's get back underway. Patterson inbound this time to Allum. Allum going to Will Jones. Jones going to Allum on the far side. They go down once again to Patterson. Patterson to Fayola on the alley-oop layup.
Some kind of delay of game call maybe by the referee, but what a great design play call by Monroe Central. You swing the ball over to the right side, Fayola with the screen, and then he just sits there, waits until they get into the corner, and then he goes up for the alley-oop and lays it in.
I think it might have been a team warning as maybe some of the players were getting a little too excited on the Monroe Central side after that play. I think they thought it might have been a full-fledged alley-oop. If that was the case, we might have been losing it up here instead. Stevens has it on the far side of the three-point line. Schroep gets the ball back, but a very close game now. 44-41 the score. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter here at Eastern Hancock. Stevens gets the pass down low. It was knocked in between his legs. He couldn't get his hands on it. Recovered nonetheless. Go to outside. Schroep takes a three. Tipped away by Gray. And now Gray loses it as he will have to chase down Patterson. Patterson passing this one off to his bench players. It goes out of bounds.
He saw some brown spots over here, but no player ready for that ball. That last possession, though, nice job for Eastern Hancock. Got it inside to Stevens, who didn't have anything. Found Schroep at the top of the key wide open. Just couldn't knock down the three. Those are the kind of shots you're going to have to make, though, this late in the game.
Wide open shot for Gray. No good. And a rebound by Fiola as he slams Cole Rainbow out of the way. Olin passes it off to Will Jones. Jones finding Patterson. And Patterson now working it across the line. Passes the volleyball stripe, working it around the arc as he gives it to Ullum. Ullum follows the screen. They give it to Will Jones on a corner three. No good. Patterson with the board. Back to Ullum. And Ullum gets 45 seconds on the clock now. Will Jones gets it to Patterson. Back to Ullum. And now Monroe Central just looking to find some open holes in this defense of the Royals. Both defenses are running zone all night.
You can't wear it down, though, on this possession if you're Eastern Hancock. You have to get a stop here.
Jones at the baseline swings it out to Ullum, who's behind the three-point line with it. He goes into the paint to Fiola. Trapped by the two big man, loses control of the ball, and somehow recovers it and gets it inbounds to Patterson. Fiola's been unbelievable tonight for Monroe Central.
Great hustle by Fiola. Sets up a 10-second here little play right now for the third quarter.
Down to 5 seconds. Ullum driving into the paint, pump fakes, takes a Euro step, miss. Fiola's put back, tipped and blocked. Gray was right there to tip it away. 44-41 our score at the end of the third quarter, and Monroe Central seems pretty fired up down there on their bench.
Well, Aaron Spalding's fired up too. He wanted to see a travel, and he's still fired up.
Oh, yes. Look at the intensity from Aaron Spalding. This is what we love to watch Indiana high school basketball for. A three-point game heading into the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Ninestar Game of the Week.
In this arena, nothing comes easy. We come at you like a freight train. Here, we put it all on display. Nothing but sidestepping, high-flying, over-the-top action. And this is where tradition, pride, and determination all come together. Big East, Pac-12, and Big Ten on Fox and FS1.
Back live from Eastern Hancock High School, 10-3-20. East 250 North Charlottesville, Indiana, the exact address. Eastern Hancock High School, the home of color commentator and former quarterback Jarrett Lewis. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great, Gavin. As long as I'm doing a game with you, it's a great night.
That always makes me happy to hear. Eastern Hancock starting off the ball at the fourth quarter. They also start off with a 3-point lead. 8 minutes on the clock, and it's go time for both of these teams in this conference matchup. We've seen some great decisions tonight. Aaron Spalding had Monroe Central down and out in the first half, but however, Justin Ullum with some smart coaching got them back into this game, as well as some smart plays from their players that the Golden Bears did.
Fiola with a huge third quarter to get Monroe Central back into it.
O'Neal with the turnaround jumper, no good, and here come the Golden Bears. Olam called for traveling as soon as he gets past the volleyball line. Yes, you. Yeah, he looked very confused down there. I couldn't tell if that was a look of seriousness or.
Was I the one with the ball that traveled? I'm not sure if he did travel, but I wasn't watching it very closely. But the referee was right there on it, and he called it.
Both coaches very upset with the officials tonight.
Could be a makeup call also from the last possession we saw in that third quarter.
No, you know you're not allowed to do that, right? Schroep has the ball at the corner. Gets this one away to the freshman O'Neal. He goes down to the paint to the big man, and Gray will make it look really easy down there if you keep getting it to him.
Great find by O'Neal.
Driving up was Will Jones. He got hit in the forearm by Gray. Looks like that's going to be Gray's third foul in the game so far.
And Peyton Gray knew he was getting beat on the baseline from Will Jones, and he just grabs him by the jersey, prevented him from getting an easy 2.
Inbound from the baseline, Patterson gets it into Olam. 5-point lead for Eastern Hancock with 7 minutes and counting to go here in this fourth quarter. Will Jones gets it at the volleyball stripe, passes it off to Phil, and they go back to Olam once again.
Coach Spalding's looking for another travel, and the referee on the far side looks like he's getting ready to tee him up. He's not happy with him.
It might just happen. Olam goes across to Will Jones, takes a deep 3 off the front of the iron. Fiola with the rebound, almost threw it over the head of Olam.
Peyton Gray had position underneath with the box out, but the rebound was long, and another turnover there by Monroe Central.
Tried to go down to the paint to Smithson. He couldn't get it in time. Schroep has it. Tried to go once again to the freshman and knocked away. We got to scramble for it. If Fiola comes up with it for the Golden Bears. Big foul right there. No call. Everything starts moving quickly, and you just don't see things. Smithson steps in. They're going to call travel on him immediately.
Was that a makeup call?
And here's – it's hard telling, man.
Well, the referee here down with the ball, he's been the one that's called both travels, and Spalding has been having it with the referee on the far end line over there.
Now Olam's giving him a piece of his mind as well, so both coaches getting on the same official about traveling calls. But then again, pat on the back, it must be just a little professionalism deal.
Still a 3-point game, though.
Stevens has it. They get this off to Schroep. Back to Stevens. Back to Schroep again. And now with the ball once again is Rainbolt. Foul called on the floor that time. I think this one's going back to Monroe Central as an Eastern Hancock foul.
I believe the foul is on Schroep.
Yep.
They were going after the ball and maybe just a little bit too much contact.
Schroep with his second foul. Looks like Patterson coming off of the floor. And it looks like Bryce Deckman back in. So Deckman, Fiola, Jones, Olam, and Smithson, the one on the floor for Monroe Central. It looks like we have Schroep, Zach Arnold, along with Landon O'Neal, Stevens, and then once again Rainbolt on the floor for Eastern Hancock.
And you mentioned Zach Arnold for Eastern Hancock, Gavin. He's had a lot more minutes on the JV team. Getting a lot of quality minutes, though, in this varsity matchup tonight.
Just a fresh pair of legs as he is the man with the ball right now, number 5 in the white and blue jerseys of Eastern Hancock. Brown and gold for Monroe Central.
Arnold with a really tough drive there. He tried to take Smithson off the dribble. Went up with the left hand. That's his dominant hand. And nice job of drawing contact there. May have a nice acting job, but gets to the free throw line nonetheless.
Smithson with his first foul of the night so far. Free throw good from Zach Arnold, the freshman. Arnold's second free throw opportunity on the way, and it is good for the left-handed free throw shooter. Will Jones has the ball setting up the offense. They pass it off to Bryce Deckman. Get back to Jones in the left wing. 5 minutes and counting, a 7-point lead for the Royals. Golden Bears on offense now. Smithson has it. Fishes it across to Jones. Jones driving into the paint. Spins the ball around, trying to get past Stevens. Fiola gets the rebound off of the miss. Foul called. 2 shots on the way as Fiola will go to the line.
Fiola has gotten a lot of tough rebounds in this game.
Landon O'Neal with the foul, his first.
Whether he's been boxed out or not, which he wasn't on this play, so an easy go up after the ball, and just Brady Stevens was out of position.
Fiola's free throw, no good. It's a 7-point game. And checking in once again, Peyton Gray for the Eastern Hancock Royals. Eastern Hancock with 6 team fouls now here in the second half. One more and they will put Monroe Central in 1-and-1 bonus. Monroe Central still has quite a bit of wiggle room to work with. 4 team fouls for them.
The loud screech from Eastern Hancock. I believe it's 1 for 3.
Some things are just unnecessary, you know. 6-point lead. Stevens on the outside. They get this stuff to Zach Arnold. Back to Stevens. Wide open 3 as he takes it. No good off the rim. Gray tips the rebound into the hands of Fiola. Gray tries to steal it as it works. Arnold had it. Now another scrap for the ball. Fiola's got it. And the official called jump ball very early, but it started to look like a fumble out there.
One of the referees pointed to a timeout for Eastern Hancock, but the Royals did not have the ball. So I'm not sure what they're saying. A timeout for Monroe Central now.
Now it's just a matter of coaches and officials yelling at each other. Spalding and Ullum both giving the officials the business tonight. I mean, they've been having it out all night long, and now it's starting to break here in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes left. It's like a 6-point game.
Both coaches looked like they were trying to call timeouts, but I didn't see a clear grasp with the ball by either team.
No, not really.
I definitely wasn't expecting Monroe Central to be awarded the timeout.
Maybe if we might be able to get another look at that and see who really had the possession. But right now, it's just a matter of the coaches and the officials having a dispute. But yeah, it was all over the place. I mean, it looked like a football fumble. One guy coughs it up, the offensive lineman gets a hold of it, then some defensive back hits him, and he lost the football. You know, it's just one of those deals.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling on the court. So no timeout awarded, and Monroe Central will get the ball, which I was expecting to happen watching it in live.
Tuck roll, you know. Will Jones has it, top of the key, gets into the paint, shot on the way and good. Monroe Central makes it a 4-point game, 48-44.
Nice job of using his body. It was Will Jones just floating in the air, making a shot happen, and he got off a good look.
Schroep has it. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Just a 4-point game. Arnold driving in baseline, gives it off to Gray. He misses the shot. Jones grabs a rebound.
And he knew right when it left his hand that it was off as Peyton Gray went after it.
Will Jones gets it to Ullum. Back to Will Jones from the top of the key. This one now going to Deckman. Jones gets the ball back. Now they move it to Ullum. Pass it off to Gavin Smithson on the far side. Smithson goes into the paint. Back outside to Ullum for 3. Well-executed play right there. Good triangle offense.
The key there was getting the ball inside in order to kick it outside because Eastern Hancock over-flooded towards the inside of the court, and that's what allowed a wide-open player out on the three-point line, which was Ullum.
Jackson Ullum now credited with his 3rd foul here in this ball game. As that was such an well-executed offensive play, I think they got a little excited down there. As you can see, the foul, Ullum really got into him. Inbound to Schroep behind half court. Schroep will drive it across against Will Jones, a solid defender. Gray goes in the paint. Stevens up, one-handed right hand, no good, and Ullum grabs the board. Now 3 minutes and 20 seconds counting. Ullum takes a deep 3, miss, and a rebound by Gray. 1-point game, 48-47.
That shot looks good from up here, and Ullum was confident.
Monroe Central's just been grinding to get back into this game the whole time.
In the third quarter, they really had the edge, and right now they're getting into this game, and Brady Stevens looks tired going after that ball.
Bad decision right there from Smithson to try and stop that one from going out of bounds. It actually gives Eastern Hancock a better advantage with the ball in the spot that they're in. 3 minutes flat with a timeout on the floor. I didn't see which team called it, however. 30-second timeout taken.
Eastern Hancock had the timeout, I believe.
By Eastern, yes. Their second 30-second timeout. They have no more 30-second timeouts remaining, only fulls.
So that last possession from Monroe Central, you know, with Arnold, guys like Arnold and Schroep up top who have really quick feet, it's going to be hard for Golden Bears players to get off good looks unless they make quick passes and feed the high post or the short corner in order to create guys getting open around the three-point line. And that's what they did on that last possession. Ullum got it inside and then got the ball back outside the three-point line and was able to knock down the shot.
You know, for a day like today where all this snow is coming in and you got no college football on really, no real other sports, this is the game you need to be watching right here,
Absolutely.
man. This is awesome.
And it'll be on tomorrow. You better 2 and 7 o'clock. This game will be on.
You got a double header on this one. If you missed it today, you will get a chance to see it as well. So once again, here's Braden Smith from the right wing.
And that's the guy that needs to get going is Braden Smith, who is really hot early in this game. He's got to find his touch again, somehow make plays happen.
O'Neal almost lost it, the freshman did. Schroep loses it. Now we have a scramble on the floor. Jump ball call, but Spalding gave the signal for a timeout right in front of the official, and he called jump ball anyway. Unbelievable.
Eastern Hancock fans believed they should have gotten the timeout, and I think
Absolutely.
they should have also.
He was calling it right as the official was going over to call jump ball. I mean, it was dead right in front of our faces. Timeout, 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 jump ball. See? Unbelievable, man. Maybe these coaches have been right all night.
They missed that one there, but you got to play on.
Fiola now with the ball under the basket, knocked out of bounds by Gray. Stays in the hands of Monroe Central. Under 2:30 to go in a one-point game. You can't be making mistakes like that, especially officials. And the possession arrow was never switched either.
Good catch, though, by the referee. Coach Spalding is yelling out to watch the lob from Monroe Central. I suppose that would be Fiola, but they don't run that. Instead, they kick it out.
Patterson gets it into Olam. 2 minutes, 20 seconds and counting here in this fourth quarter. Just a one-point game. Patterson back to Olam. Olam gets a screen from Smithson, steps into a jump shot, and he nails it.
Olam looks really comfortable right now with the ball. He's looking to get a screen or find his way open somehow behind the three-point line.
Schroep has it. Smith has it. Now they go to Patterson, or excuse me, there's Stevens on the far side.
Is this the first lead that Monroe Central's had, Gavin?
I'm sorry?
Is this the first lead Monroe Central's had in this game?
No, the lead has changed a couple different times here tonight so far. I think it's been 3 or 4 different lead changes. However, this is the closest they've been to winning this game, I should say.
It's been a long time since the Bears have had the lead.
1 or 2 point leads for both teams. Besides, I mean, throughout this game, we've seen so many lead changes. It's kind of scary. Hancock had this one at like 12 or 14 points at one point, but Monroe Central came firing back. Now they're up by 1. Unbelievable game. Tough defense from the Royals. We got a scrap on the floor. The officials didn't call anything.
No foul called there either.
O'Neal missed the layup. Now we have fouls called everywhere as players are falling on the floor. And Will Jones, one of the key players for the Golden Bears, down in the backcourt after that ball ended up getting away on a fast break. The trainer called over immediately. Will Jones down on the floor.
Yeah, let's check out this replay here because the referee didn't call anything when the ball was on the floor.
Jones got hit right in the head. He could have, oh, man. He took a hip to the head from Stevens. And Stevens is a big kid, man. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, it looks like he took an elbow maybe. But it was actually the right call here by the referee who didn't call anything on the Monroe Central end because Eastern Hancock had the ball and Monroe Central was trying to call a timeout. And Stevens threw it up court to O'Neal. And no foul called on that end either. So really crazy sequence there.
Gosh, very tough spot for Monroe Central right now. You got to get Will Jones back into the game if you can. And however, if he's too hurt, that might just put a little deficit on you. It's like he's just getting looked over real quick with some ice, getting the trainer's talk, lifting his arm up. Funny story here, Jarrett. Looks like Will Jones might be your doppelganger.
He just might be. I can see it.
Can't get a good shot right now. He's receiving medical attention. Fiola from the stripe looking to make this a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and all of that, Fiola now is at the free throw line to extend this lead.
49-48 the score. Free throw on the way is good. 50-48. Single bonus for Monroe Central. 4 fouls so far on Peyton Gray. 1 more and he will exit this contest. That would be a big loss for Eastern Hancock as well. Fiola's second free throw rolls off, but Gray grabs the board. It's only a 2-point game. 1 minute, 10 seconds and counting here in the fourth quarter.
Plenty of time to make something happen. You just got to run what has been working.
Stevens has the ball, top of the key. Now being D'd up by Fiola.
Gray's trying to get position down low, but can't get it right now with Smithson.
Schroep holding on to it at the top. They get it off to Stevens. Braden Smith for 3, misses it off of the side of the rim, and a big collision with him and Patterson, and they will credit Smith with that foul right there. So Patterson now has to come to the stripe to shoot 1-and-1 after the foul from Smith.
And Braden Smith, who had 12 points in the first half, has had 0 in the second half. Got a great look there. You know, Monroe Central nowhere near Smith, just couldn't hit it.
Quite a very good game so far, 50-48 the score, with Logan Patterson, the junior, coming to the free throw stripe. 44% free throw shooter. Misses the free throw and the rebound from Stevens.
Like we said earlier, both teams are struggling from the free throw line, and that'll be key right now with 40 seconds left in this game.
Monroe Central coming into this game shooting 69% free throws shooting, and then 59% on the other side for Eastern Hancock, as Aaron Spalding will take a full timeout on the floor with 34.1 up on the clock. 2-point lead for the Golden Bears. Pardon me, I just ripped my headset right off. But it seems like that's the expression Aaron Spalding's rolling with right now as well. He's ripping his hair out over this game.
I think what Coach Spalding is looking to draw up is something to where he has multiple options, whether you're going to get O'Neal open around the three-point line, and if that's not there, then you try and get Braden Smith open around the three-point line possibly. And then even with missed shots, you want guys like Brady Stevens and Peyton Gray down low to get these offensive rebounds and try and give Eastern Hancock another chance, because you're not looking at a whole lot of possessions here with just around 30 seconds left to play.
And you know, this game was a 14-point lead for the Royals at one point, and now Monroe Central marches back. That's exactly what you want to see when you come out to these environments and call a game like this. You want to see close game, good fouls all around, and coaches with charisma. These guys are on fire tonight. I love it.
Yeah, they've been into the game. Coach Spalding has always been into the game, and huge credit to Monroe Central and especially Fiola. He's just been on fire in this second half, leading his team and scoring right now, getting offensive rebounds, getting to the free throw line, and he'll be key right now late in this game. He'll have to box out a guy like Peyton Gray or Brady Stevens down low and get a tough rebound.
Very crucial 34 seconds coming up as Eastern Hancock trails by 2. Inbound pass to Stevens. They give it right to Schroep. 30 seconds now to go. Schroep following a screen from Stevens. They get it off to Gray. Gray dishing over to the freshman and O'Neal. Stevens now backing downfield into the paint. Spin move. Basket is good. Tie game 50-50. Clock still running. The Golden Bears have to inbound. Now down to 10 seconds. Olam has the ball. Here we go. 50 points apiece. Timeout taking Monroe Central. 6 seconds up on the clock. Smart decision from Justin Olam. They're going to take time to come up with a play to get at least 2 up on the board.
Calm, cool, and collected, though, is Brady Stevens, who got that ball at the block. They were trying to get O'Neal open, you see in this corner, but Will Jones, great defense there. Fiola guarding Stevens here. Goes to the right, but then over his left shoulder. Could have called a foul there. Nothing called, but Stevens easily lays it in. And now,
regardless of the outcome of this game, Brady Stevens has earned my player of the game. That big guy has been in the paint, grabbing all the boards, stepping outside, shooting threes and nailing them, and then just finding mid-range shots to take, hitting those shots as well, doing good from the free throw line. I'm giving Brady Stevens my player of the game. So
he's really stretched the floor out very well for the Royals tonight, and like you said, hitting the shots from behind the arc, inside the lane even. Him and Peyton Gray both just been a real force underneath and keeping Eastern Hancock in this game after Monroe Central took that lead just a while back.
This is going to be a very crucial defensive possession if you're the Eastern Hancock Royals. This home crowd has been ruckus throughout this whole game as well. We have the Monroe Central fans over in front of us, so we're hearing a little bit of both. The Eastern Hancock side, however, sitting on the far side, all that noise just rushing right at us.
And an interesting call there from Justin Ulam to call the timeout with 6 seconds left, not letting his guys play it out. He wants to draw something up.
Inbound to Patterson. Patterson now running with it. Down to 4 seconds. 3, screen, shot on the way from Olam. It bounces off of the rim, and we're going to overtime. Oh, what an open shot for Olam, but he just could not hit it. I think he had a couple teammates he could have swung it around to maybe for a better shot, however. Let's see that one more time if we can. Inbound to Patterson as he just sets up this offensive possession. Olam had the screen from Fiola. He had it right there in Patterson. He could have swung it back, but nonetheless off the rim, no good.
Olam's the guy you want to take that shot, though, and Monroe Central got what they wanted. They got the screen from Fiola, but Brady Stevens did a nice job he stepped up from inside the lane, got a hand up, made the shot real difficult for Olam.
We now will go to a 4-minute overtime, but first we'll take a quick break on Ninestar 9. We'll be right back, 50-50 as we head to OT.
Dan Rather is on Access TV with all new episodes of The Big Interview every Tuesday at 9, 8 Central.
Be as candid as you can.
Don't miss Kenny Loggins,
These ideas are precious.
Dickie Betts,
What got you to come out of retirement?
I missed it.
Ricky Skaggs.
What was it like?
Well,
Playing on an alien planet?
The Big Interview with Dan Rather, Tuesdays at 9, 8 Central. Set your DVR now, only on Access TV.
And we are back at Eastern Hancock High School. We have overtime action on the way, 50-50. The score at the end of regulation. My name's Gavin Haynes, joined on my left by Jarrett Lewis. In a game where Eastern Hancock once led by 14 points, the Monroe Central Golden Bears marched back into this contest and tied it up right before the end of the second half. 50-50, as I should say, the Royals tied it up right before the second half as Stevens barely got a basket in right before the end of regulation. Timeout was taken. They had a chance to set up an offensive possession. They went with the pick and roll, and they knew it was coming too, and they anticipated it, missed the shot. That moves us here into overtime. Eastern Hancock starting off with the ball after the tip. Skylar Schroep has it. Being guarded by Jackson Olam. They pitch it off to O'Neal in the far corner. O'Neal driving into the paint, step back shot, no good, and it's rebounded by Jackson Olam.
Not a very good shot there on the first possession. O'Neal tried to do just a little bit too much, didn't have a good enough open look.
Jackson Olam, the son of head coach Justin Olam. As it's Patterson with the ball right now for the Golden Bears. Will Jones back into the game for the Golden Bears on the far wing as he receives a pass. Left the game earlier with a slight injury, now back into the contest.
Will Jones guarded very closely by Skylar Schroep. Skylar known for his good defense.
Gavin Smithson has the ball in the paint. Tried to find somewhere to go with it, just could not. Fans looking for a travel call, and they did not get it. Fiola has it in the paint, puts up a one-hander, no good. Rebound from Gray.
Olam did a nice job of driving into the lane and found Fiola in the short corner, but Fiola wasn't feeling it, decided to take it in himself, and he couldn't put one down.
Still a tie game here, 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go. They're going to call Gavin Smithson for an elbow in the back of Stevens. And now Smithson credited with his third foul, or pardon me, his second. As you can see there on the replay, looks like the Royals get it. O'Neal right under the basket, two-pointers good. Landon O'Neal.
Haven't called his name a lot. He did hit those two early threes, but nice little turnaround Jay, and he has a 2-point lead now for his Royals.
10 points on the night for Landon O'Neal, 52-50 the score. 2 minutes, 25 seconds and counting. Gavin Smithson passes it to Will Jones. They go right back to Smithson. We haven't seen Smithson take too many shots, but he's had the ball an awful lot tonight, so I'm starting to wonder if he actually is one of their better shooters or not. I'm assuming not.
Just a real big body, probably trying to find the open man, and he's had guys like Will Jones and Olam who've hit a majority of their shots, and now he's looking for Fiola down low.
Timeout taken, Monroe Central. Justin Olam nodding his head like everything is all right. I think he might have anticipated the fact that Eastern Hancock was reading that offense like a book. Well, after a quick timeout, Monroe Central gathering their stuff together. 2-point lead for the Royals, their first bucket of the overtime. Going straight to, pardon me, that was Landon O'Neal once again. So O'Neal really started off hot with the 2 threes, as you mentioned. I think he had another 2-pointer in the third quarter and then followed up with that basket here in overtime.
Yeah, early in the game we thought O'Neal was going to be the guy to watch for Monroe Central, hitting those 2 early threes, but since then only 4 points. Still, he's a guy that's a big factor for Eastern Hancock, because if he gets open and hits a 3, it's going to be a lot tougher for Monroe Central to get back into this game if they're down 5 rather than down 2. And they got to really do something here on this possession. And I think Coach Olam might remind his guys that the big guy underneath, Peyton Gray, he does have 4 fouls, so one more of those and he'll have to sit.
A pivotal conference matchup here in the Mid-Eastern Conference between Eastern Hancock and Monroe Central. Patterson will be inbounding from the far sideline. Inbound pass to Jackson Olam. Under 2 minutes to go now. 2-point lead for the Royals. They find Fiola in the paint. Tried to pass it off to Smithson. Ball tipped around again. Eastern Hancock recovers. It's Landon O'Neill.
Nice job of getting your hands up and causing the deflection. I believe it may have been Peyton Gray who caused the deflection.
Schroep has it. They try to pass it off to O'Neill. Monroe Central knocked it out of bounds, staying in the hands of Eastern Hancock, however. Both of these coaches have been all over the floor tonight.
Will Jones guarding Landon O'Neill and Olam guarding Schroep is going to be the two most important matchups here in this last 2 minutes of the game.
Schroep drove right side, couldn't find nothing, gets the pass back to him. Now going to Gray. Gray's put up is no good, and now a scrap for it, and Monroe Central comes away with the ball. Olam has the ball on the fast break, driving into the paint. One-handed shot up and no good. Push foul called on Monroe Central. Looks like this one's going to be on, looks like Sam Fiola. I believe that's going to be his second.
No foul there as Olam drove, and then Fiola just maybe a little bit too much in the back of Peyton Gray. That's not something you want to do, especially around Peyton Gray now, who's at the free throw line. He's got too much of a size advantage.
63% free throw shooter Peyton Gray at the line with 1:13 to go. Misses the free throw. Stevens tipping it around into the hands of Gray. Gray puts up a shot off the backboard into the hands of Smithson, and a foul called on the floor. Looks like this one's on Eastern.
And with that miss, Peyton
That's
Gray.
Gray's final foul, actually.
So Gray will have to sit, but just the whole entire game, Gray has not been comfortable or has just not looked good from the mid-range game, and we haven't seen one make with him from mid-range, maybe one, but everything has been inside the lane, and now with that fifth foul, he's going to have to sit.
A minute to go. Peyton Gray now out of the game for Eastern Hancock with his fifth and final foul. Fouling out of this game with 12 points. Braden Smith checking in. Looks like we're also going to see Cole Rainbolt on the floor. Fiola's free throw is good. 51-52 game. Don't say we might see double overtime, Jarrett.
Anything is possible.
Fiola at the stripe. Looking to tie this game. Free throw's good. 52-52 the score. Under a minute to go and counting for Eastern Hancock. Ball tipped out of bounds at 1 minute, rather. So with 1 minute flat, we'll see an inbound pass from Braden Smith on the sideline for Eastern Hancock at a tie game once again, 52-52. Schroep gets the ball behind half court. Clock starts up and now starts winding. Rainbolt on the far side. Gives it near side to O'Neill. O'Neill up to Smith. Braden Smith at the top of the key at the volleyball line now.
Monroe Central now sitting up in this man defense. We've seen 2-3 all night from both squads.
Looks like the Royals are trying to find something working on offense. As Schroep tried to skate past Olam, did not really find the open opportunity there. Clock still winding down, 30 seconds and counting down.
Might be looking for a last shot opportunity.
Hancock has the ball. 20 seconds and counting.
Coach Spalding still does have plenty of timeouts to use. He might want one, or he might see the rest of this clock go down in final shot.
Schroep driving, and a timeout taken from Aaron Spalding under the 10-second mark. So, with that being said, almost a full minute wasted at the hands of Eastern Hancock. So that can go into a lot of strategy for your team. Aaron Spalding saying, let's just run the clock down, hold on to it as long as possible, try and get the winning basket here in the final 10 seconds. And, you know, with that happening, a lot of fans out there really believe that high school should have a shot clock implemented.
I've seen a lot of people in favor of it, maybe 60-40 in favor. I'm not sure what my opinion is. I haven't given it too much thought, but I know a majority of the people I know, they would like to see a shot clock implemented into high school basketball. But with this timeout right now, you see Coach Spalding, he just got a talking to with his assistant, Brett Bechtel, trying to figure out what they could run up, and you got plenty of capable shooters on the floor, and O'Neill, also Rainbolt, who hasn't put up a three-point shot, but definitely someone Monroe Central still has to keep an eye on. He's deadly from behind the arc. And, of course, Braden Smith, who was hot early, and then Brady Stevens, who has been arguably the player of the game for Eastern Hancock.
I'm sure we will see that debate head to the IHSAA probably sometime within the next 5 years, actually. Nonetheless, under 10 seconds to go as Eastern Hancock will have the ball. Tie game, 52-52. Schroep has it. Now counting down to 7 seconds. Has it right side, loses control of the ball, gets it back. Now under 3 seconds. Schroep gets it in! Eastern Hancock!
Goodness.
Eastern Hancock takes the victory. Skylar Schroep with a quick right-hand layup, under 10 seconds left. The basket counts.
A discussion now with the referees. Did Monroe Central call a timeout? I believe they did. 0.5 is what they're saying to put on the clock.
They're saying 0.5 will be the amount of time Monroe Central has to try and get back into this game.
But my goodness,
that's an inbound right there. As soon as the ball touches your hands, you got to fire it. And if we leave here on a full court buzzer beater, I might just lose it.
I don't know if 0.5 is enough to get a catch and shoot off, but my goodness, it looked like a busted play. It looks like the Royals didn't get what they were looking for. They may have been looking to get a screen for O'Neal, but Schroep did what he could and got around his man, went up with the left hand off the glass, and whoa, what an exciting moment there. What a game we have right now.
This is when you want to play your best full court man defense if you're Eastern Hancock. You want an interception.
Monroe Central coach might be arguing to put more time on the clock, but I'm not so sure about that because when Fiola grabbed the ball and he was looking to inbound it right away after Schroep made that ball, and the buzzer went off, I mean, as soon as Fiola had the ball for half a second.
Well, Monroe Central still has a shot, you know. I mean, they're going to have to inbound it. Aaron Spalding yelling timeout on the way over to the officials. I mean, man, these have been some interesting cats out there tonight calling this game.
Coach Spalding has always been one to be ferocious, I guess you could say, one to yell and get that red in his face like you mentioned earlier.
Well, Eastern Hancock manages to get the time down to under 10 seconds. A right-handed layup from Skylar Schroep gives them the lead at 2 points. Monroe Central will have time to probably roll the ball in, wait for someone to pick it up, and then just fling that Gordon Hayward shot, you know, against Duke.
I think Eastern Hancock, though, they'll have to be as close to their man as possible. They don't want to foul. Most importantly, they do not want to foul. If they get the ball in the farther half court, then let them have it and let them try and get off a ridiculous shot. But most likely Monroe Central is going to try and throw the ball into their half court to try and get as close of a shot as possible. And so if you're Eastern Hancock, you don't want to foul, and you don't want to Monroe Central to get off the best possible shot that they can, which is going to be really complicated, really difficult with just half a second.
So you're not going to be able to get your roll in because the defense is actually playing right up in front of you. So this is going to be a full court chuck shot. And another timeout from Monroe Central. This is just unnecessary at this point.
It looks like Coach Olin wanted to see what the Royals were doing, and they had Brady Stevens and Braden Smith double teaming Fiola because Coach Spalding was probably thinking they wanted to get a full court heave to Fiola to see if he could jump up, snag it, and try and get off a miracle shot.
Personally, I think this is both coaches' ways of saying to the officials, you're going to wait after the night. You know,
you're getting your money's worth. You've already been in the OT. We're just going to make it a little bit longer now.
Tough matchup all around for both teams. I mean, when you're coming into this on paper, it was so even. I really couldn't tell you who was going to win. John Harrell had it predicted that Eastern Hancock would probably win this game by around 6 to 10 points. And it was a lot closer than he gave him credit for. Monroe Central came out and really impressed, especially for their numbers on paper, man. I mean, they really came up and ready to play. Team effort all around from all their players.
And early on, it was all Eastern Hancock in that first half. You're talking about a 10-point halftime lead, and then guys like Fiola and Olam really stepped up for the Golden Bears. They brought them back into the game, even had the lead at one point late in the fourth quarter. And then you get force an OT, get a miracle layup by Skylar Schroep as the clock's winding down. And now, here we go. Probably won't see another timeout.
Inbound pass from Patterson is a full court lob. Jones gets it and fires. Almost, he tipped it. Oh, wow, that looked really good from this angle, but it was really short from up here as well. So nonetheless, the Eastern Hancock Royals defend their home turf by 2 points here in overtime in a crucial conference victory. They will now move ahead over Monroe Central in the conference standings. So, Jarrett, what about this matchup tonight, man? I mean, overall, you had to get great production out of all your players, not just your studs. Your studs did come to play, but tonight we really saw the role players step up.
We saw the most even matchup we could have expected. Just like you said, on paper, you know, it was a coin flip to see who would have won this game, but see Coach Spalding walking off the court now. He's happy to see a win, and like you said, the role players really stepped up early on. Eastern Hancock, from the likes of Braden Smith, who had 12 points in the first half, he really stepped up. We saw a few three-pointers from Landon O'Neill, but Brady Stevens, arguably probably the player of the game for Eastern Hancock, has watched this layup by Schroep, just up with the left hand, so softly, so nice. Man, what a game we had here. And then Monroe Central trying to claw back in it in the second half. Freaking Fiola was just unbelievable. I mean, he's got me fired up.
Fiola, you know.
Fiola, that's
he was all over the place, up on the boards, hit the free throws. I was really impressed with Sam Fiola tonight. You know, he really he led the whole game in scoring for both teams, and he was just playing physical defense, as you can see here. He's guarding Stevens as Stevens gets that one bucket right before the end of the fourth quarter to send him to overtime. Well-executed clutch performance tonight from Eastern Hancock. I would say once those crucial moments came down, they really showed their true colors, and that Royal Blue ran deep tonight.
And they didn't fold. You know, you have the lead early in the first half, and in the second half, Monroe Central has all the momentum. They claw back into this game. They take the lead. You know, Eastern Hancock, they didn't fold. They didn't, you know, let the moment, you know, seize them. You know, they stuck together. They had just great production underneath from Stevens. And they got a team win. It was a real quality team win, a nice conference win to go 3-2 now with a conference record. They're still alive in the Mid-Eastern.
All right, that just about does it for us here tonight. Join us for our next broadcast. It'll be Carmel at Newcastle. Myself and John Herrick will be in Newcastle at the Fieldhouse, the world's largest high school Fieldhouse, whatever you call it, arena. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. The Newcastle Fieldhouse will be there. Next broadcast, Carmel at Newcastle. Tonight, however, Eastern Hancock 54-52, a big overtime victory. They move ahead of Monroe Central in conference play. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe out there in this weather.